Hey there, this is going to be a somewhat quick tutorial on how you can rip from your Blu-ray and transfer everything to an MP4 file, keeping both the audio tracks and subtitles. So you can see right here, I got MakeMKV open. This is just the beta version. You can kind of test it out. You can also purchase it if you do a lot of these. This is the only program I found that can actually do Blu-ray, as I'm putting the disc in right now. And like I said, this is the only one I could find, and I kind of wish it would go straight to MP4, but since I found out some stuff about Blu-ray, I understand why it does the MKV instead, because apparently subtitles on the Blu-rays are image-based and not text-based. So okay, the Blu-ray's already in, I click on this and it's going to start loading. But yeah, the subtitles seem to be image-based, so you have to jump through some hoops if you want to keep subtitles with your video. I mean, as far as the audio goes, you can kind of do it straightforward, converting it over with all the audio tracks. Now you see here, I got all these are already clicked. I'm going to unclick most of these because I already kind of did all this stuff. I just need to redo the first video because I messed up on it. But here you can see the different sizes. This will tell you pretty much whether it's the episode. This bottom one here that's all the episodes as one file, so I definitely didn't want that one. Now open up here, as you can see some of these are clicked and unchecked. You can kind of go in and set your preferences. When I originally did these, I only wanted the English audio, but now that I've learned about how to do multiple audio tracks and the subtitles, I'm not going to go back through all my Blu-rays and DVDs and do this only on certain ones that I want the two. I'm going to click here for the audio, and I can probably click there too. Now this right here is the picture. So like if you see some files and they all have that same picture on it, it works on the MKV. I have not seen how to import it over to the MP4 file, so I'm not even going to worry about that. And of course, my output drive already got set as a default. I'm going to keep all my movies and stuff, and I'm just going to come over here and click on this little button, and it's going to start ripping the disc. And while we wait on this, I'm going to pause the video so we won't have to sit here through the entire time, although it ain't going to probably take too long. And then we'll move on to the next program we're going to need. So okay, now that is done, so we kind of don't need this program anymore. We can move on to the next one. Now this one is the MKVToolNix, and I'm going to drag the file over. Now I went ahead and renamed the file from the DVD name to the actual anime. This is season 1, episode 1 of How Not to Summon Demon Lord, and of course, sometimes I'll put the actual title of the episode on some of these. But here, I just want only this. I'm unclicking everything I don't want, because all I want is the subtitles, because I'm going to need these here so I can actually bring them in and put them into the MP4 later, so I got to separate them from the MKV file first. Of course, this is the actual DVD name. I don't want that. I want the new one. So let's see. Yep, my H drive. There is the actual file, the current name. And I found out I just go ahead and actually I need to create a different folder so I don't get these two mixed up. There we go, and that way they won't override each other. I did find out that to me, I think it's simpler if you go ahead and rename it at the beginning, because later on, when you go to do the MP4, I think it connects it to the name, and I don't know if you wait till at the end to rename everything, will it still do it? Because I don't think it did when I first time did this. Let me go ahead and click this so we can kind of go ahead and get that audio track going. You see, it's going down here, taking a little time. Oh, it's done. So we can now move on to the next thing we need to do. Here, I'm going to bring this folder over so I can kind of get. So let me brought this folder up. Now I'm going to go to the tutorial I saw say use the backs convert, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to switch over there. Then I'm just going to drag this file over. Now there's a couple different ones you can use, and you can look at the Handbrake to see which ones. I know you can use this one here, but if you're going to be using the Windows Movies and TV app, I don't think it recognizes that one. It recognizes this one, the STR, so that's the one I'm using. And so I'm just going to now hit, I got where it's going to save right there. So I'm going to hit convert and let it sit there and convert the files over. Now this is going to take a moment, so I'm going to pause until it's we're ready on to move on to the next app. While we're about waiting for this to finish, I want to make one more thing. Now this one right here I got is, I think, called Subtitle Editor. It's one of the ones I found that I could easily understand how to use to rip the subtitles from that MKV file. One reason why you want to use the MKVToolNix, and when you download the MKVToolNix, you want to download. I end up downloading the portable one because it came with the GUI interface right here, where the other one for some reason wouldn't work, just the executional file. But one reason you want to use this one, because it rips it into a small file of just the subtitles, and that way it helps when you come to do this subtitle editor. It moves a whole lot faster than if you try to do the whole video itself. So it's a whole lot quicker process going through these hoops. But that is done, so we're okay. We're done with that. Now we move on to Handbrake. So Handbrake, I'm going to go and open up mine. Don't need that one. You see right there, it's created my two subtitle files. Here's my original MKV. There's the one I ripped the subtitles from, so I don't need that one no more. So we're going to import this one in. Now, it all depends upon what you got. Now, my default is just for all my videos here on the setting the size. I want 720. I know some people's going to probably fuss on that. My TVs ain't no more bigger than a 20 inch, so I don't need nothing that's really high definition or big. The video. Now I do run mine out slower, but what we want here is the audio. Now you can come in here and set behaviors, and you can save it where, like, any unknown. In this case, I would want, since most of my DVDs are usually anime that I'm probably doing, I'll probably come in here and do the English wherever it is first. What happens when I'm trying to read this without my glasses? English. And then Japanese will be the two main ones. There we go, Japanese. Now I'll come back to the top and I'll do any and unknown, just in case some of these companies do something weird. And then you can save it. And now I can come here and I can kind of go through all remaining tracks, all selected tracks. Now you see it's giving me a bunch of ones I don't need. I don't need this one. And that's the other chip. Now, I mean, if you have the part to do these based on what your setup is. Mine ain't no complex thing. I just listening to 20-inch television set with just two. I think it has two speakers in it. I think most of them do. Now, I will come in here and I will change this title track. I will change this to Japanese, so when you bring up the menu and subtitle, you can easily know what's what. Now I'll change this one to English. And then I see the next, not subtitles, these are audio. Now come over to subtitles. Okay, I'll delete that because that is a picture. It won't transfer over to MP4. And so I'll come in here and I'll come in here to import subtitles. And I'll just select both of these. Now the reason why there's two of them here, one is subtitles for the entire episode of everything they say and everything you read. The other is just the subtitles for stuff that appears as text in Japanese to translate for you. So like, you know how the titles of each episode will appear on the screen, well, they'll translate that. And so I got both of those in. That's pretty much everything I need to do. And so I'm just going to hit, we'll just come back here to the beginning and hit start QA, just so we have a picture here. And while this takes time to render, I will let you know that from playing around with these in Microsoft Windows, okay, now it's the movie and TV app. That's the one I'm trying to think of. And of course, it's lagging because I'm rendering or encoding the thing while I'm trying to talk. But yeah, the Microsoft movies and TV app, you have to have these files with the MP4 for it to use it, because it imports it in. But some of the other programs I used, I haven't tried Media Player and see what it does, but I know I've tried a few on Linux, and I don't think I need to transfer these files once I've encode it, because I think it automatically puts it in with the MP4, just that one app. And something else too I need to point out with the movie and TV app. For some reason, some of the video, it puts the Japanese audio as the default, and some of them it puts the English audio as the default, and I have not figured out how to get it to switch to where I want all one language as a default, and I have to switch to the other if I want to listen to the other. Now, I haven't had that issue with some of the media players I've used on Linux, although I haven't gone through all the videos just to make sure, but I know the few I have tested and tried, I haven't had a problem. Now, on some of them, the subtitle will automatically default on, and I haven't figured out how to get it where it only defaults to which one I want on, or if I do want them on. But this is basically right now a tutorial on how to go from your Blu-ray to an MP4, so you at least have all that information together. So whatever media player you choose to use to watch these, or when you're streaming at home on your own home system from your own home media server. And I'm going to pause now because this thing's getting too laggy for me. Okay, that got done encoding. I did do a test encoding over on my Linux program to see if it would fix that audio issue I'm having with Windows Media app, and it's not. I mean, it said in the what is the program I'm using to watch over in Linux? It looks like Celluloid is the default program I'm using on the Linux distro. But here's Windows Media app. If I hit play, I'll turn up the volume so you can hear what I'm talking about.
Cross Reverie.
So that's the English.
You've heard of it. If not,
but
how?
For some reason, it will start there with the Japanese a lot of times, and I just can't on some of these. Now, you gotta have, like I said, and for this, you gotta have the files, the subtitle files, in the folder. And so you select which one. I think this is, yeah, that's just the one with the title. So let's see if we can find the actual title part. Yep, right there goes the title. So that's the subtitle for that one. And then the other one is the actual text. And so at least that is a way for you to have your subtitles with your multiple audio tracks on your MP4 when you rip from your Blu-rays. I use MP4 because it just saves more space on my hard drive, and of course I've run about everything through Handbrake to try to condense everything down so I can get as much of my videos on my hard drive as I possibly can. And that's pretty much it for this video. Now, if you want to find a decent remote that I've actually been using to watch my videos with, and I got to figure out how to program the celluloid thing to do the same thing as Windows Media, or not Media Player, but the movie TV app. I use this little remote, and I did get a little short of recovering it. It's been kind of nice. I've had to charge it once in a while, depending on how much I use it, but it's been very handy for watching my DVDs I've ripped to my computer, watching them on my computer. And until next time, have a nice day.